This is about a scandal revealing parts of which, through a sting operation, this group had come out with something which is absolutely shocking. This is about a scandal from Uttarakhand, where the Chief Minister, Harish Rawat ji, and his personal secretary, Mohammed Shahid, an IAS officer from Gujarat cadre who has been with Mr. Harish Rawat, even as he was in the union government under the UPA 2 regime. So, Mr. Mohammed Shahid, who's the PS to the Chief Minister now, and who was the PS to Mr. Harish Rawat, even as he was a union minister in UPA 2, was specially brought from Gujarat cadre to be his PS, even as Mr. Harish Rawat was a union minister. And there are clearly the orders, the copies are all with us. He was specifically brought to be the PS of Mr. Harish Rawat as he was a union minister, and then when Mr. Harish Rawat was moved from here to become the chief minister to replace Mr. Vijay Bahuguna, Mr. Mohammed Shahid followed him to be and to continue to be the PS now, after he became the chief minister, PS to the chief minister, held the principal secretary's post for Excise, Abkari, and also communications. In other words, here was this PS of Mr. Harish Rawat, handpicked and chosen, delegated to come from Gujarat on deputation, stayed with him when he was the union minister, and after that continued to be with him after he was sent over to Uttarakhand to replace Mr. Vijay Bahuguna as the chief minister. Now, what is the issue? What is the issue that we are going to highlight before you, and which is what was also spoken by this NGO this morning? Before we come to the specific issue of what exactly the corruption that we are talking about which the NGO also spoke, I'd like to give you a picture of what this Abkari policy was, the excise policy of Uttarakhand. Under Mr. Vijay Bahuguna, the policy was to have the wholesale distribution of foreign liquor, foreign made liquor, FL as they would call it, FL2, and then they would have a system of distributing this through the Gadwal Mandal Vikas Parishad or Nigam, Gadwal Mandal Vikas Nigam, and the Agricultural Marketing Council. These two would do the distribution towards the smaller retail outlets, and then the third layer was the retail outlets. That as per the policy which was under Sri Vijay Bahuguna. Now, once Sri Harish Rawat goes, and remember the context in which the change happened. Your priority would be to restore Uttarakhand back after the cloudburst, after the disastrous way in which the first few months passed by post that disaster, many of which was reported through you in the media, which actually compelled the Congress to remove, unfortunately, the Chief Minister, Sri Vijay Bahuguna, and get apparently the more efficient and quick to work Mr. Harish Rawat over to Uttarakhand. The focus, therefore, you would think, would be to better deal with Uttarakhand's crisis after the tragedy, after the cloudburst. After that, you would want the minister to ensure, and his office to ensure, that Uttarakhand in every way, its people, its villages would be restored after that indescribable tragedy of the cloudburst. Our CM goes over from the center, Mr. Harish Rawat, with his personal secretary, Mohammed Shahid, and his priority is to change the policy in such a way that the liquor distribution would happen through agencies who they will bring in. Only the transportation would happen through Gadwal Mandal Vikas Nigam, not the distribution. Of course, transportation is one of the aspects of distribution, but the wholesale to retail, that transformation from wholesale to retail, that distribution job was removed from the Gadwal Mandal Vikas Nigam, which is a government agency, and also the agricultural agency. First of all, it's an irony in a state like Uttarakhand, which has, the hilly tract and everything. You would want the Agricultural Marketing Council, Parishads, to take care of improving agriculture. They have been given the job of distributing liquor. That's one thing. And the public body, Gadwal Mandal Vikas Nigam, which should have done this wholesale to retail distribution, was sidelined, and private agencies, at the convenience and pick and choose methodology of the Chief Minister and more of Mr. Mohammed Shahid, were brought on board, and they in turn passed the liquor to those retail agencies. So what you would say? With them, there was an understanding of several hundreds of crores that this right is now being given to you. Vikas Nigam will not do it. You will do it. Let us bargain how much you are going to give me. And that is the video clipping that we are showing you, where the Chief Minister's PS sits and negotiates with these people, saying, how much are you giving now? And the payment would be made in Delhi or in Dehradun, 25% now, 75% later. All this comes through in that sting operation. Very clearly, with a very clear intention of making money out of this business in a state like Uttarakhand, which is crying for help. The Chief Minister and his hand-picked and chosen personal secretary, an IAS officer from Gujarat cadre who was brought in even as he was a union minister, has engaged in this. Mr. Mohammed Shahid himself is seen in this sting, talking with middlemen as to how much would be given to him. And therefore, please have a look at this sting. You will know how serious this whole affair is. And in a state like Uttarakhand, which we are seeing monies go, various different relief agencies are giving the money, attention is not paid to that. Attention is being paid to the distribution of liquor and making money out of it. One that he himself has very clearly claimed that he is Din Raat Ghum Raha hai Harish Rawat ke saath. He is officially the PS to the Chief Minister after he became the Chief Minister, officially the Secretary dealing in Uttarakhand with Abkari, and also the person dealing with communications. And he's sitting and negotiating with people who have nothing to do with the government, but certainly middlemen who are getting the liquor distribution business as per the changed rules which Harish Rawat has brought in, the changes which he has brought in after he went there as Chief Minister. Also, several hundred crores are being talked about, but of which 25% and 70%, the percentages to be delivered here within a week or later, are the ones which are very clearly coming out from there. The BJP demands that Harish Rawat instantly resign. Instantly resign because, one, his PS is engaged in an outlandish negotiation on earning illegal wealth out of distributing or giving the distribution rights to people of liquor. Very clearly, an attempt by the Chief Minister's PS to make money out of middlemen who are coming there, to wrench out of the hands of the government's organization the distribution rights which were otherwise a part of the policy of Uttarakhand. Even worse, he has to resign because the priority of sending Harish Rawat after replacing Vijay Bahuguna was to focus on relief, was to restore Uttarakhand to some kind of a normalcy. And those of us who have been unfortunate enough to visit that beautiful God's own country, as you say in the south, of Kerala, but certainly Uttarakhand has been known as the Char Dham, the sacred land of the Char Dham. And after the disaster, so much of attention was given for restoration and to reach out to people who still have not found their relatives who were lost in the cloudburst. Children have been lost, women have been lost, villages have been washed out. And instead of focusing on restoring that state to some kind of a normalcy, even today the risk of those few pilgrims who are going there, and mind you, tourism was a big source of income for Uttarakhand. The Chief Minister, on the contrary, instead of giving opportunities for the villagers who are living there, creating jobs, better homes, restoring the village roads, is focusing on making money out of distributing liquor. There cannot be a greater outrage for a state which is still looking up to the government, saying do something to restore us. Given this special circumstance in which he was sent, and given the circumstances in which his PS, hand-picked, chosen, who has been with him even as when he was Union Minister, is engaging and clearly taking Harish Rawat's name during the interview, during this sting, leaves no scope for the Chief Minister to tell us anything other than what has been happening in this. What kind of money has been exchanged? Are they playing with the lives of the people of Uttarakhand? We demand that the Chief Minister resign instantly and the Congress party come out to say, is this what their idea of restoring Uttarakhand is? If they're talking about states and corruption in states, and now let me take it one step further, and using that as an argument to say, Rajya Sabha, let us talk about everything. Add on to this. We'll talk about every state if the rules of the Rajya Sabha are going to be amended for this sake. Talk about this also, which has come out this morning. आज कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन क्लब में सुबह कुछ एनजीओ ने एक खुलासा किए, जिसका स्टिंग ऑपरेशन का वीडियो क्लिप हमने अभी आपके सामने दिखाए. इसका ट्रांसक्रिप्ट भी हमें आपको देंगे. इसमें से स्पष्ट निकलता है कि मोहम्मद शाहिद आईएएस ऑफिसर, जो हरीश रावत जी मुख्यमंत्री उत्तराखंड की पीएस हैं, वो खुद बैठ करके बिचौलियों से बात कर रहे हैं कि आबकारी लॉ को तोड़ मोड़ करके जहां गढ़वाल मंडल विकास निगम डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन करना है होलसेल से रिटेल तक, उसको दरकिनारे करते हुए सिर्फ डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन मतलब ट्रांसपोर्ट करने के अधिकार उनको छोड़ा गया है. डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन के लिए मिडिलमैन को ले आकर के उनको वो हक दे करके उनके द्वारा पैसा कमाने के लिए जो कोशिश हो रही है, लाखों करोड़ों का कारोबार है. और इसमें कमाई हंड्रेड्स ऑफ करोड़ का बनता है. उसके ऊपर ये स्टिंग ऑपरेशन के द्वारा एक एनजीओ ने आज सुबह खुलासा की है. उससे ये स्पष्ट निकलता है कि चीफ मिनिस्टर ही और उनके पीएस के द्वारा इस सिस्टम को जो पॉलिसी विजय बहुगुणा जी के समय में बनाया गया, उसमें परिवर्तन ले आकर के उसमें कुछ अमेंडमेंट्स करते हुए मिडिलमैन को ले आकर के उनके द्वारा डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन करने के लिए जो अमेंडमेंट किया है, ये एक षड्यंत्र के तहत ही किया गया है ऐसे लग रहा है. और उसके तहत ये मिडिलमैन इनके साथ मोहम्मद शाहिद जो पीएस है, उनके साथ बैठ करके चर्चा कर रहे हैं कि कितना देना, कहां देना, कब देना. पहले 20% देंगे, फिर बाद में 70% देंगे, इधर नहीं देंगे, दिल्ली में देंगे, ये उत्तर प्रदेश नहीं है, हर विषय इधर बाहर चले जाता है. ऐसे पूरे विवरण के साथ चर्चा हुई है. उस चर्चा का स्टिंग है. इसको आज एक थर्ड पार्टी ने दिखाया. हम बीजेपी उनको उस सीडी को इधर आपके सामने रख रहे हैं. जिस उत्तराखंड में हालात वो क्लाउड बर्स्ट के बाद बहुत गंभीर अवस्था में सीएम विजय बहुगुणा के एफिशिएंसी और वो रिलीफ रिहैबिलिटेशन ठीक से नहीं हो रहा, इस कारण बदलाव करना पड़ा और कांग्रेस इधर से हरीश रावत को मुख्यमंत्री के रूप में उत्तराखंड में भेजे। जाने के बाद उनके पूरे ध्यान आबकारी के इस विषय में और पैसा बनाने के इस विषय में चला गया, उत्तराखंड के रेस्टोरेशन के लिए नहीं गए। जनता वैसे के वैसे रहे, रिलीफ कुछ नहीं हो रहे। आज भी जो 100 के करीब जो चारधाम यात्रा में जाने वाले यात्रियों को कितना दिक्कत सहना पड़ रहा आपको मालूम हो रही है। उत्तराखंड के लिए टूरिज्म बहुत महत्वपूर्ण है। बिगेस्ट इनकम अर्नर फॉर उत्तराखंड इज टूरिज्म। उन सभी कार्यक्रम को छोड़ करके पूरे इस आबकारी के विषय में सीएम और उनके पीएस, उनको निजी पीएस है और आबकारी के सेक्रेटरी भी है और कम्युनिकेशन के सेक्रेटरी के नाते भी वो काम करते हैं। इन तीनों रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी निभाने वाले मोहम्मद शाहिद बैठकर बिचौलियों के साथ जो बातें कर रहे हैं, उससे स्पष्ट है चीफ मिनिस्टर पद में रहने के लायक नहीं बने भी। वो तुरंत इस्तीफा देना चाहिए और कांग्रेस पार्टी बाहर आकर के बोलना चाहिए कि ये क्या, यही आपका उत्तराखंड का रेस्टोरेशन की ब्लूप्रिंट। और अगर मैं एक और बात जोड़ रही हूं, अगर राज्यसभा में कानून के खिलाफ, राज्यसभा के हाउस के कानून के खिलाफ स्टेट्स के विषय जो स्टेट के असेंबली में बात करना है, उस विषय को लेकर के इधर चर्चा करना चाह रहे हैं कांग्रेस, अगर सचमुच चर्चा करना चाह रहे हैं तो इस विषय को भी छोड़िए, चर्चा जरूर करेंगे। केरल के सोलार स्कैम को भी जोड़ेंगे, बार का स्कैंडल भी जोड़ेंगे केरल का, हिमाचल का वीरभद्र सिंह का इतना बड़ा घोटाला हो रही है, एप्पल ऑर्चर्ड, एलआईसी एजेंट, उनके एक वन टाइम इंश्योरेंस प्रीमियम पेमेंट, उसका भी जोड़ेंगे। इसीलिए कांग्रेस पार्टी इसके ऊपर तुरंत कार्रवाई करे और चीफ मिनिस्टर को पद से आज ही हटाएं।
कौन कहता है भ्रष्टाचार करने की जरूरत होती है? भाइयों बहनों, मेरा मंत्र है, न खाता हूं न खाने दूंगा।
भारतीय जनता पार्टी और केंद्र की सरकार के मुखिया के इस नारे की पोल खुल गई है, जो नारा दिया था कि
मायावती प्लीज,
प्लीज
सर, मायावती चर्चा क्यों करा दीजिए ना, प्लीज
चर्चा